Go Loud presents the Talking Bollox podcast.
What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Throw your weight in it now. Tell your body you can. Walk it hard and long. When you finish that,
The hip knocker.
go down, go down, go down. Come up, come up.
Boom, support for Talking Bollox comes from Manscaped, the best in the business for below the waist grooming.
The products are precision engineered tools for your family jewels.
Right, here we have the performance package Manscaped that's sending us out. Quality.
Yeah, we have ball toner and we have trimmers as well, and there's a fucking light and all on it.
We also have a pair of jocks. Manscaped jocks, I'm all over them.
Yeah, and it all comes in a little travel case as well. So that's a handy one. No matter where you go on the road, you can always know that you're in safe hands.
Top of the range. Come here, they're after giving us a 20% off. A code for Talking Bollox listeners exclusively. So if you use GoLoud20 at checkout.
On manscaped.com, you get free worldwide shipping as well.
Yeah,
And they also sent us out the weed whacker, which is why I know it's hers, because it's not just downstairs that needs trimming, it's upstairs as well. Manscaped have you looking your best and feeling your sharpest.
Boom, episode 72 of the Talking Bollox podcast brought to you by GoLoud. It's me, 30 Flower.
It's me, CLB. Is it 72?
Don't, is it, boys?
Fucking
We
hell.
have the phone. We can just check it all now.
I'll check it now. I'll check
Oh,
it.
relax. We have a new set, boys. What's this? Is it check it?
Oh,
I'm not really doing any. Yeah, 72.
right,
Yeah?
go with that 72. It is.
Right, episode 72. It's me, 30 Flower.
It's me, CLB.
And
Yeah, well, here we are. New setup. Just me and Terence.
this legit.
Yeah, it is. I like it.
Yeah.
I don't like being in the table because I'm on top of the person beside me and I'm miles away from you then as well.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah.
But what are we going to do if we have a guest next week? Pull up a bit of floor there.
Pull up a bit of floor there, pal. Yeah, we don't have a guest this week, so we're running with just the two of us. We put a video up earlier on. Calvin actually put the video up because I wasn't doing
Camera
it. Asking for questions. And our producer kindly pulled us up a load of questions. We haven't read them, but we're going to call them out soon.
Right off the bat, yeah, he has it down as first Q. First Q.
Right.
From Natalie. Yeah. When is our next live show?
Well, what are we allowed to announce the date?
Is this better not be your one Natalie Farrell who got tickets to the last live show? Yeah, and made a show of us in front of everyone.
She was right.
She didn't even go and she supposedly sold the tickets.
No.
We done a competition to give away 2 tickets. And then was it Natalie Farrell? Nearly sure it
Natalie
was.
Farrell, I think, yeah.
I bet that man, yeah, I'm gonna make a show of ourselves doing this. But she won 2 tickets. We called her out at the live show. Natalie, what story? And everyone's like, who are you on about, you dope? She never came. But anyways, this question's from a Natalie. So shout out to Natalie. When's the next live show? With big announcement. And do you know what? We'll announce it at the end of the show.
Will we, yeah?
Yeah, just sit on it.
All right, sound. Yeah, no, we'll have a bit of that. Yeah, we haven't that, boys.
Right. Something that we're after doing again. We fucked up 2 weeks very close together, yeah? We forgot to do Zingers last week.
Oh, no. Do you know what it is? Someone said to us, is this the end of the Zingers or not?
No, we just forgot.
Literally just forgetting.
I blame Christy Dignam.
I blame Christy Dignam as well.
Couldn't get a word in.
But he's a legend, by the way. Zinger for this week, then.
Go for it.
Have you got one?
I have, yeah, but I wanted to save it because it's one that we've been talking about and it'd be good for a guest, but we'll give it to the guest next week. Go on.
Right, yeah, well, we have to anyways. I have a good one. Sent into us a couple of times.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're going to call the person now?
Is her name there? Is the name on it?
It should be. I'd imagine it is, no?
Yeah, it is. This is from Anya, yeah? Whoever Anya is. He didn't put... Why would you put it down on no second names? Thanks for doing it, like, but you should have put the second names on it. Would you rather bland food or bland sex for the rest of your life? I think that's a brilliant singer, by the way.
Yeah, what's your answer then?
That's why it's a brilliant singer. Now, I have thought about it. I'd rather bland food for the rest of my life. I would.
You know you're going to have more food than sex for the rest of your life.
I do. Do you know what's more enjoyable, though? Sex. The only reason why we just need food, we do also kind of need sex. Do you ever see when you don't have it for a while?
What, food or sex?
Sex, and you're going around, you're just starting on people and all. Because I get like that. Like sitting here barking at the carpet and all. Can they see the carpet?
Hopefully fucking not the state of it.
I'd rather bland food. Because you know what the thing is, I'd eat ant in the world. I say it all the time. See these people who are like so fussy eaters, is that just brought up too well, is are spoiled. End of story, I don't give a bollocks. Spoiled rotten. That's what's wrong with this shit. Because if I put a blade, everyone hates chewing it. Aren't you? Get me?
Chewing it rotten though.
If I put a tin of chewing on the table, I'll tell you, that's all you have to eat.
Yeah, and you'll see me dead in 40 days.
You'll eat it. You'll eat it. You will eat that. So, yeah, fussy eat, I think it's a myth. You're just spoiled. That's my opinion.
Right.
So, I don't mind eating bland food. I eat eating. I only eat because I have to eat.
Yeah, but you ever grow up in the sack and it's dirt?
That's what I'm saying. And it's...
But so hang
Like
on,
that-
boy, this singer, yeah. So bland food or bland sex. If you pick the bland food, does that mean you're guaranteed not to have bland sex ever again?
Yeah.
Or there's a possibility like you could get up and be like, you know what, that does, yeah, that
Not
wasn't
spicy sex forever.
every time, yeah. For the fizzy sex,
Yeah. Sparkling water.
for the hummus on that yolk, yeah.
See, like,
Mix and match,
because you know...
pick a mix, jellies, licorice,
Because,
lick
like,
that.
bland sex can actually put you in a bad mood.
It can.
Like,
It can.
like,
Yeah.
if I'd be like,
We
"Oh,
always
shouldn't
say
have
it.
did that."
We always say it because, you know, when people say how many dates should you go on before you do it, I think I'd recommend doing it in the first because
100%.
the longer you leave it, you're building up the anticipation. And what if it's dirt and you're like, you know what, I actually like that girl, but the sex is dirt.
And like sometimes that happens. Like it's not a big deal, but like sometimes that actually happens. Like where you could
It
like
can.
someone and then you have sex and you're like that.
There's
Actually,
no connection there.
yeah, like legit. Like
Because that is legit
I don't
when you're
wanna
going to
say
have the most
she's
connection.
Like, I want to say like you don't want to say it like that. Like oh, she was shy. I wouldn't be that person. But I'm like they're just.
But
it
that's
just,
when
there just
you're-
wasn't a spark.
You're not, if you don't get a connection, that's when you're most intimate. You know what I mean? You'll plug
Yeah.
you'll plug into whole socket, like, you know, like that legit connection.
Yeah. So and bland sex can put you in bad form.
I pick bland food as well.
Yeah.
You know, I think I do. I love it. Food is little. Though.
Of course, food is little, but you'd sacrifice, bro.
You would, yeah. There is actually no better than a good session.
Like that put you in good form for 3 days.
Yeah,
3 to
good
5
spin.
Working days.
It's a good spin.
I
yeah.
kind of the Lord I got.
High five in your board and all after. That was good. Well done.
But legit, you're like fair play to you for that.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
lethal.
Right.
Well, literally ringing me there, but I can't answer him. Right. What's next? What's yours, Zinger?
My singer is, do you ever see when you're asleep, yeah, and you wake up and you have that green stuff in your eye? What you call it?
Cack.
Yeah, I call it cack as well, yeah.
Why? What's the other yoke?
Sleep, some people call it.
Ah, I've heard of it.
Yeah,
Yeah, I have heard of it.
and it comes,
Yeah, that's
I think sleep is actually very popular. You know the song with them, it's the Monkeys. I'm nearly sure it's the Monkeys. Daydream Believer.
Oh.
Oh, I could hide neath the wing of the bluebird as she sings. The 6 o'clock alarm would never ring, but it rings and I rise, wipe the sleep out of my eyes.
Oh, is that where it came from
The
then?
shaving razor's cold and it stings. Cheer up, sleepy Jean. Oh, what can it mean to But anyways, that's my thing of it this week. Sleep
Thanks
or
for the bit of
cack.
karaoke.
Sleep or cack, yeah. Oh yeah, if that is the Monkeys, I'm giving myself a fiver. Yeah, that's some shout by me. Right, we'll move into the questions because we're bleeding dragging the arse out of this podcast.
Sleep or cack? That's a good show.
You know what happened those turns, yeah? And it always happens as well on podcasts. When we get rattled or shook, we never recover from it.
What you mean?
Like, if we were supposed to have a guest this week and it fell through and it literally absolutely rocked us, like, we don't know what to be doing. I was walking around work all day scratching my head, like, what do we do? And it happens in the podcast. Someone will say something to us in the first 10 minutes of a podcast and I'll never recover from it. I'll be like, fuck.
Yeah, there's a few episodes we haven't recovered.
Loads.
PTSD.
And I think there's questions anyways about this. Right, so here we are. Right, will I kick this off or do you want to do it?
Right, kick us off.
Right. Fair play to Blade now, and I swear to God, he has these
Shout out
categorised
to Home
down.
Brennan, by the way. Check out Unusual Suspects as well. Unbelievable podcast.
He has these categorised down, right? Right, a nice light one to start off. Is skiing a posh sport? Shout out to Daniel. Yeah, skiing is a posh sport.
Yeah.
It is. And this is what I said as well when I had my traumatic experience with skiing. I deserved everything that happened to me that time. The near-death experience, I was... there was blood coming out of my nose for nearly 2 weeks after. I blown my nose, there was blood in the still. But the neck of us going skiing in the first place, we're Irish, you know what I mean? We shouldn't be skiing. There's no slopes in Ireland.
Yeah, I agree.
And I know there's one down in Glendalough or something like that, an artificial out, but we shouldn't be doing it.
No,
you go to Sweden and you go to France and Finland and all these other countries, and the animals are there. Because they're brought up, it snows there naturally. It snows here for 10 minutes and there's no bread in the shops or toilet roll, the buses are stopped and all.
Yeah.
You're ringing in, work from home and all. Skiing is a posh sport. Anyone who used to go skiing when they were younger as well was brought up very well. I never got brought on a skiing holiday. I don't know anyone that got brought on a ski holiday.
Yeah. Never heard of it, yeah.
Think about it. Oh, don't be giving me dirty looks. You must have got brought on a ski holiday, did you? Right. Are you going to do these questions as well? Do
you want me to?
Obviously.
Right. What?
Sitting here like Oprah Winfrey.
So are we just going to go with... are we just going to go with light ones then?
Yeah, mix and match there.
Right.
No, not light. Mix them up.
Right.
He has them like blading runners. There's light, mid and heavy. Like a pair of Jordans.
So we're going to answer all these then, yeah?
Yeah, walk our way.
Right, mate, what legend start the podcast? Go.
Shout out to Kimbo Slice. You always answer this one, Terence. It's your idea.
Kimbo Slice. Yeah, so, starting the podcast, I always wanted to do a podcast for a few years.
Yeah, I have a lot to say as well.
Yeah, a lot to say. And I used to always say it to the boys. And obviously, so me and Calvin, see, this is a lot. I feel like we've told the story too many times.
Yeah, just go back to episode 2 or 1.
Just go back and listen. Like,
I feel like we tell the story every week as well.
do you know what? And we don't, but it's just because we've said it so many times.
If it's not every week, it's every second week we say this one.
Yeah. It's just a long story.
This is a good one. This is a good one, yeah. Favourite place in Dublin besides seeing a city? Steo said that, yeah. Shout out Stephen, yeah.
Oh, that is a good one.
I don't even have any favourite places.
No, I don't have a favourite place, but a place where you go and you're like, God,
this is good crack.
this is good crack here.
I have a good one. The Hellfire Club.
Is that in Dublin?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah.
That's a good show.
It is a good show.
But like, I think they mean area.
Hellfire Club's in area.
No, it is an area, but I think they mean like Finglas, Cabra, Ringsend, Oliver Bond, Percy.
No, it
Look,
says
I don't-
favourite place.
I don't know then. Anywhere, yeah, anywhere.
Anywhere in Dublin.
Yeah.
You
like,
just
look, what? Give me another answer except for the Hellfire Club.
Hout.
Hout's a great place. I'm gonna take Hout off you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right, I like going to Dollymount.
Dollymount's a good show as well. Yeah.
We left Dollymount. But do we have to go now?
Yeah.
This is a mad setup, boy.
Back and forth, come on, will you?
Right, back and forth, right. We know you piss in the shower, but would you piss in a public shower?
Yeah.
From Skilby G.
Yeah.
Skilby G. Was it? Yeah, of
Yeah.
course you'd piss in a public
If I
shower.
was in the gym or something and I was in the shower, I'd have a piss on, no problem.
Would you, yeah?
What's the difference?
No, you're right.
I'm not
yeah.
pissing on somebody.
No, you're right.
Yeah, off the back. Good luck. Right. Are you ever going to venture to Australia for a live show, Niamh and Amy?
Yeah, if there was a demand there, we'd definitely
If
go.
someone texts us tomorrow, what's the story? Do you want to do a live show? 1st of August, here's the setup, blah, blah, blah. I'd go.
Thing is, you'd probably end up down money from the money you'd make off the live show. We'd be literally paying a fortune to do a live show over there.
Well, if someone could rearrange it where it doesn't cost us a fortune to go.
Exactly.
Look, we're putting it out there. It's an open invitation. Someone started up in Australia and reach out to us because they're not the first person to actually
Boys
say
going
that.
to Australia for a live show. That'd be lethal.
You wouldn't even be able to get in.
Would you rather have hiccups? Would you rather have hiccups non-stop for 24 hours or be tickled non-stop for an hour?
Who said that?
Niamh.
Shout out to Niamh.
See, there's literally no point in shouting them out on a first name basis.
I am. It's just so you know. Do you know what I mean? Niamh will be
Like,
saying for
only
me.
Niamh is gonna know.
Just, yeah, well,
Okay,
let her.
honestly, this is a good question for you. How many Niamhs do you reckon listen to the podcast? Now, we know how many listens we're doing.
How many
We
do
know
you
how
think
many
of?
listeners there is.
I'm going to say 789.
I would have hit the 1,000 mark.
1,000 names.
Yeah.
Right. And anyways, I'd rather be tickled for an hour. I love getting. Do you know what I love doing? I always say to me, boy, tickle the bottom of my feet.
Nah, but it's different than that. You know, the tickles in the ribs where it's like, ugh.
Give me for an hour.
When
Bro,
you're shocked.
hiccups for 24 hours non-stop, your head would be fucking wrecked. Imagine trying to talk.
Oh,
yeah.
but tickles.
Episode-
That
It's me,
hour. That hour would feel like 24 hours.
Yeah, but I'd still rather. It's done. You've 23 hours to recover then.
Right, good question. Yeah, I take the hiccups.
Right, let me just make some.
But we used them as singers like on Sunday.
Maybe.
Right, sound.
Right, I hit you with a heavy one, yeah?
Oh, good.
What was Terry's turning point to get sober? From Erin.
From Aaron.
Erin, yeah, Erin, Erin.
I'm gonna give you a mad one, yeah?
Right.
True story though. Legit true story. I told you I actually think I might have said it in a podcast before. I'll give us the inspiration behind getting sober. The person. Know who it was?
So somebody.
Yeah. Isn't that the maddest thing you've ever heard?
No,
No?
because he is an inspiration.
Yeah. Yeah. Sasha Murray was the inspiration behind me actually getting sober because I know, because he was a mad man. Everyone that knows Sasha knows how mad Sasha was. Do you get me?
So what was the turning point? Were you just following him one day and be like, this fella is mad and he's sober? I'm mad, but I'm under the influence.
So I'm gonna give it. So he was the inspiration behind it. So I obviously wanted it for a long time, so I knew I had a problem. But then I knew he had a problem, and he did it. And then he was making these podcast things and putting it out, and I was listening to them. And I was like, how the fuck did he do that?
Yeah.
So I tried loads of times and failed. So I knew if he did it, I could definitely do it.
Yeah.
So but then the last time I had a drink, obviously I wanted to get sober for so long because I was bad, yeah. But then the last time I had a drink, obviously, other than the relapse last year, the time when I actually got sober, the last time I had a drink, right, was it was my auntie's 80th, my great auntie's 80th, and me and all the family was in one of my auntie's gaffs having a few drinks, and it was a great night. It was a deadly night. About 2 or 3 o'clock in the morning, everybody went home and went to bed and blah blah blah. But I stayed up all night, still bleeding, doing the other stuff and whatever. And the next morning came around then, so it's about 9 or 10 the next morning, and the family who left are all come back over to have breakfast. And like whoever was in the gaff was coming down to the kitchen, and I was still in the sitting room, still up to no good, you get me, on my own. And I could hear all them in the kitchen making breakfast, and they all had the hangover giggles and all. Hangover. Do you ever have them? See, you know what they are though.
I know, yeah.
Like,
I've had a hangover before.
Yeah.
I think people have a misconception. Like, I've drank, like,
Yeah.
I overdid it. But at a young age, I overdid it. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And that's when I decided, do you know what, I'm not enjoying this. This is not for me. So
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
But the hangover gigs, yeah, everyone is gonna know what I'm talking about anyways. When you wake up and you're hanging together, but like I don't know, for some reason everything's funny from the night before, and I could hear all them laughing and all in there, acting their bollocks and all, and I was sitting in there, and I remember thinking, how is this even fun anymore?
Yeah.
Like, they're all in there now having the buzz, after having a good night, having a good night's sleep, now they're having breakfast and they're all buzzing, and I'm still sitting here, still up, the sun is coming in, the bleeding.
Grimy.
And I'm sitting there and I'm like, yeah, like the fun is gone out of this now. Like, so that would have been the last time that I had to drink, obviously, before that.
And then you
before
were like,
this.
that's it now.
I was like, I can't keep
Done with
doing
this.
Like this. Like, it's, like, I already knew it wasn't fun because I was doing it so often. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but then I was like, this has to stop. Do you know what I mean? Like, people coming in, you're not coming in for a bit of breakfast. And I'm like,
No, my stomach's closed.
yeah, well, you go,
Sure.
fuck off. Like,
Yeah.
my nose is blocked, my stomach is closed. I don't want to be listening to you. Do you know what I
Yeah.
mean? So, yeah, so that's the inspiration behind that, and basically the turning point, yeah.
Right.
Right, you can never eat one of these again. Crips or sweets?
Bollocks. Yeah, you do more thinking with the lighter ones than the heavier ones.
Oh, yeah.
Crips or sweets? Off the bat, sweets. No?
Oh my God, now that, like, I only stopped to think about that. I know I asked it a few seconds ago. Then I only had to stop and think about that, and that's much harder than I thought.
Off the bat, Crips or little parents.
I think I'd give Crips away.
Oh, bro.
Yeah.
Give me 3 solid top tier
Have a
sweets.
Zinger.
Right, bollocks. That's the Zinger.
I don't know whether to. Why are we wasting? These are actually good zingers.
Then hold it.
Right, but this is going to be the zinger, but I'm not going to ask you now, yeah? So, sweets, right? Sweets is bars and all, yeah?
And jellies.
Bars, jellies and all. Squashes,
Right, that's top tier. Yeah.
right?
You have to give me 2 more though.
Yeah, Kinder Buenos.
Right.
That's the zinger, but we'll plaster that
Keep
in
going.
another week, yeah? A good Galaxy Ripple.
They don't do ripples anymore.
No, they done away with.
I'm nearly sure they are, yeah.
Don't know, bro.
We are on a good trail of thought. I'm enjoying this, yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's food for thought,
a
are they?
dirty milk caramello, the 6 yolks,
Sake.
top of the pops.
Bro.
But I know where you come from, pack of the bikers.
Hunky Dory's sour cream, the bright green ones.
Yeah, tops.
Yeah, Walker Sensations or Temptations, whatever they're called. You know, the spicy ones.
This before me got wrong. Sensations.
Is it? Yeah, not them.
Tops.
Yeah, them ones. Do you know what I love as well? The big bag of potato party mix.
Yeah.
Do you know them ones? Pringles, Wheelies, Monster Munch,
Yeah, there's a few bangers in there. Don't get me wrong, but there's
and then the posh crisps, the O'Donnells and all. You know them ones, bro.
14 quid for a pack
know.
of ring the credit union.
I
I
know,
want a
but
packet of
they're lethal,
O'Donnells.
the fucking quality they are. King, nice packet of King.
Hey,
But look
though,
for a
potato
sambo.
man myself now.
Yeah, but making a crib sambo, that's gone out the window. You're gonna have a squashy sambo.
Getting a brownie after a nice carvery. No, you wouldn't.
Nah,
have
that
a
doesn't
brownie
count.
after a carvery. A brownie after a good
Brownie
meal.
doesn't count as a sweet.
No.
No, bro, that's a cake.
Chocolate, no. Well, it's not chocolate, they're not sweets.
I'll give up sweets, bro. I love a packet of crisps.
Yeah, I'd give up Crips now, but that's a fucking great one.
It is a great. That's Phil thought. I have a good one here, right? And I don't know where they came from, right? So whoever Connor is, don't know what Connor is, but he's obviously living through this dilemma. Yeah, he says, "Would you ask for the wedding present back if you found out that the couple finished 2 weeks after?"
Fucking right, I would.
Would you?
Give me that 100 quid out of that card.
That's a bit of an Indian giver, isn't it?
Nah, of course you. What the fuck? Like,
Give me that iron I'm at the getting you back, you dope.
give me that toaster back, yours. You hadn't ready to that anymore.
Connor, what's the story? Whichever one of Connor's mates is at the getting married recently, yeah, and it's at the finishing. He wants his cheese toasty maker back, yeah. So I've about fucking 20 weddings to go to between now and next summer.
You know what the thing with a wedding is? It's not like a birthday. you
No.
know? Like I see a birthday, 21st, throw €21 the card. Say, oh, it's
Yeah,
'cause
and a
you're
condom and a
21.
tea bag.
Do you know what I mean? It's something stupid and you
Yeah.
get away with it. Weddings, nah, snookered, mortgage.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, it's heavy.
I know.
So-
Suits, hotels,
Thank God you have a podcast, like.
yeah. And I don't understand what that's supposed to mean, but people hook me up. No, I said this
They were
message.
going for me for the Calvin fella.
I said this message to me board at the start of March. I was like, no matter we've load of mates and none of them are getting married because a few of them were engaged, yeah.
Yeah.
And between March this year and then I think it's June next year, 7 weddings.
Little though.
No,
Don't
bro,
be
no,
complaining,
It
bro.
is. Come here, 3 of them are like back to back. It's like July, August, September. Boom, boom, boom. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
Can't go on holiday or anything because fucking weddings coming up. And then one of them's in
You're
December.
never in the country, pal.
Yeah, I know because I have weddings to go to.
Yeah, pal.
No, one of them is in one of them. I can't go away this year. Honestly,
Where's one of the weddings?
one of them's in Portugal next year.
All right, like that.
One of them's in December. One of them's the week before Christmas.
Little.
Do you know? Not Leo, Rob. Leighton.
No,
Santi
Childish
and all to
happening
be
in
down.
December. Who was that? Give them a shout out.
Shout out to Ellen, yeah. Doubt she listens to the podcast, but give her a shout out. She's me boys, mate.
Didn't even listen. Don't go to that. That's Childish from Ellen.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, love, but that's fucking very
Yeah.
Childish. The week before Christmas, we fucking kids and all.
Yeah, what about Wardy getting married in July? Shout out to Wardy, yeah.
Pop,
He just
pop.
decided on a Monday, lads, you know what, I might get married this year. And then by Tuesday, he was like, yeah, the wedding's in July. I was like,
Bank holiday Monday, hanging together. Says, I'm getting married in July.
yeah, that's what it was.
He
He's
must
mad
be up on the
fragile.
saddle all day, spicy sex, nothing bland about it.
Yeah.
I'm marrying you.
Mad
in July.
fragile and all. His board cuddling into him, yeah. He's getting wifed. Well, yeah,
Right.
weddings are good crack anyway. It's just space them out, do you know what I mean?
Uh,
But sorry, yeah, Connor. No, I wouldn't ask for the present back. You fucking bought it for them.
Yeah.
Like, don't be giving her away if you want it back, you thick.
Connor, grow up. And I don't even care if he doesn't listen to the podcast again after that. Grow up. First impressions of each other. This is a great one.
Yeah, this is a good.
I didn't like him, mate.
I'm allowed
Calvin
to go into
hated me.
details, turns.
Yeah, go on, fuck it.
Right. I was out one night. I was at a 30th, and one of the boys was watching the UFC. It was the night Ben Askren got knocked out by Jorge Masvidal in 6 seconds, and we were out, went like out to the nightclub. It was over, so we were talking 2 or 3, half 3, and one of the boys texted me, "Drop up the gap." There's a few of us up here watching the fights and all. So I brought the riff-raff with me. I brought about 8 people up to the gaff with me, and we walked in. Terence was there with one of the boys and one of the other boys. There's only 3 is, wasn't that in the gaff?
Yeah, Gibby was there as well. Yeah, shout out to Gibby.
Right.
He takes the clamps off. I won't say his real name.
Yeah. So the 3 boys were up there, up to no good. Yeah, smelling keys and all. And, we were sitting there, but Terence was smelling a key, and he got real paro. And I remember he wouldn't shut up talking, and you were talking marbles. And I
Yeah,
remember
the
thinking,
usual.
this fella's wrecking my head. But the one thing that we did have in common was Ben Askren walked out and we're like, this fella is going to wrestle the life out of Masvidal. And there's never been a worse prediction in sport ever.
No, never.
He was slept in 6 seconds.
We were the only two in the room to say.
Yeah, and we were confident as well.
Oh, I was
This is
giving
happening.
backgrounds and stats on
Yeah.
that. Multiple time world champion.
Double
Wrestler.
AA bleeding all American wrestler. and all.
And he went down and got sparked early doors.
Yeah, and I just remember Terrence was born in the years after everyone. I was like, what's the story with this fella?
Heavy tackle with a few on me, boys. You wouldn't like me, I promise you. But
And that was that, yeah. That was,
yeah, so the next day I rang.
We won't name the person.
Actually, will we not?
No.
All right. All right. Yeah. We
The
got-
host. We rang the host.
Yeah, we rang. I rang the host the next morning. I was like, "What story with that fella?"
Yeah.
I was like, he didn't like me. I said he was a bit bogey. I said,
I know he said the same thing about you.
Yeah, I was
Sorry
like-
with that fella. He's there born the years after everything, mad
yeah.
paro and all.
So we didn't like each other, and then
Still don't.
yeah, hasn't changed since. Just because we have a podcast together, and I don't like him,
Yeah.
but I need him. He's my SNA.
Yeah. Right. Any more? Hang on. Why does rain drop but snow falls? Dan. Because the rain drops, the drops of rain. Rain falls as well. Have you never heard of rainfall? Like,
Now, why would I
Anyways.
said? Why do you not say snowdrops then?
because of snowflakes, bro.
No, that's a valid point.
They're the people who get it.
Who said that? I was trying
Dan.
to back you up there.
Dan, yeah.
Dan, door joke.
Yeah. Is Terrence single? Said Shauna Claire Lenice. What sort of name is that? In brackets and a few others.
Yeah.
Sound. Right, we'll leave it at that.
So text me as well. Boards are legends nowadays, Calvin, yeah? Remember before we said it in the podcast, we were like, boards are text first and all that legends.
And then the messages start blowing up.
Yeah, like, yes, are all
Putting her
right,
out there in
all
the
yours.
universe, start giving it back.
I charged me crystals that night. Right, light one. Who's better at pats?
We never actually had a game of
We
that.
never had it. Who do you reckon is better?
Uh,
You have a big ego, so I'll be very surprised if you don't say me, like you.
yeah, but like it's not. Is it? Pats is not that hard of a game.
No, it's, I'll tell you
Pretty
how,
easy to be good at pats.
the thing with pats is, right? If you hit the pat first,
Yeah, it's game over.
you're going to the halfway line,
Yeah,
and then you're trumping the halfway. So it's about who can hit the pat first.
yeah.
Basically, in my opinion, that's who wins the
Yeah.
game.
Unless you play the rules where if you're in the halfway and you miss and I get the ball and I hit you, I take all your points.
Yeah.
The rootless way.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you know,
And
prison rules.
no one ever just throws it. When they catch that ball
Ah.
and the back of their head, concussion,
You're,
isn't it?
you're nearly
Like
better off
that
not
jet
running.
going around
You're
there.
better off not running. You're better off standing there and trying to dodge the ball. Because
Yeah.
if you turn your back, it's game over. There's blood in the water. Game, boom.
Yeah.
What did you think about Katie Taylor the weekend?
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I hate all this bollocks, man. Nothing can ever just be celebrated properly. There's always some sort of scandal after big events like this, and obviously it's the whole look of, oh, Serrano won, blah, blah,
Yeah.
blah, draw, and I get it, because the fight was
was
close.
close.
It was
6-4.
It was razor
4 is close.
Yeah, it was
She
razor
won a
close.
round. She won one more round than her.
Yeah, it was
Yes,
razor
easily.
close. But regardless, like if Serrano had won that fight, I wouldn't have kicked up before saying Katie won that fight.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I get it. But I mean, Katie won the fight.
Yeah.
It wasn't big enough for people to be going, oh,
Robbery.
fucking robbery. It wasn't like that.
Yeah, it wasn't
Either
Josh
could have
Taylor,
won
like.
that, or a draw could have happened, and nobody should have had anything to say.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. She's the greatest ever do it. It's absolutely, it's a joke how good she is.
Greatest Irish athlete of all time?
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, there's no question in my
Yeah.
mind about it. There's no question.
I'd
She's-
agree. No, I'd agree. I was just...
Yeah, she's an
Uh,
absolute joke. The amount of things she's achieved in terms of, in her amateur career and in professional.
Yeah. I
Like,
heard
it's a
yesterday
joke.
that the GAA would be behind giving them Crow Park for a fight. Because when I first heard Eddie Hearn talking about it, I was like, there's no way. Ed Sheridan can't even fucking play more than 2 nights in Crow Park without more kicking off. There's no way they're going to give it to 85,000 people in a boxing match.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And then I heard the guy would be behind it because it'd be our homecoming. And to be honest with you, I reckon it'd be our last fight.
Yeah.
What's that, 21 she had to happen? I think she's 36 now. And there's nothing more for her to accomplish.
Well, there, that was pound for pound 1 and 2 there.
Yeah, retain the belts. There you go. Leave no doubts about the fucking rematch. You know what I mean? Finish it. people, as you said, there's question marks over this result. Go in, do the business, bounce out. And you know what? Flood the undercard full of Irish fighters as well. It'd be unbelievable.
Yeah.
Imagine Croke Park, 85,000 people.
Tom O'Carthy taking scalps off people.
Unbelievable.
Lethal. Get that done. Imagine that.
Be lethal.
It would be lethal. Moving on. Where we go? We go back to heavy. We haven't done a heavy one.
I've won here.
Right, go on, hit me with it.
Who had the biggest influence on your life?
Oh. That's a good one. Who had yours?
Shout out to Keane for that one.
See, they're heavy, boys. A guy will cry on this podcast, no problem. Like, no problem.
See, I don't know, like, in terms of, like, I don't have a role model. I don't have someone who I look at and be like, I wish I was them, or I want to be like them, yeah? But the biggest influence on my life, right? So, personally, what I think is, I pick my daughter on that.
Yeah.
Because I think if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be the man I am today, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
So, every decision I make in a roundabout way is about her.
Yeah.
You know, like that. Like, the reason why I moved out of town was to be closer to her. You know, like that. The reason why I stayed in college was because of her. The reason why I go for certain opportunities and do certain things, it's because of her. So, in a way, yeah, she's my biggest influence. Like, I remember my whole life just changed since she was born. So, like, me at 20 to me at 28, I'd probably be the same kind of person if she wasn't born. And then since she was born, me at 21, that was it. I was a fully grown adult then. You know?
Yeah.
Whereas I look at people at 21 now and be like, you're a kid.
Yeah.
And then it was our birthday yesterday, and I look back on the pictures, obviously, because the memories come up from that day throughout the years, and I was like, I was actually a kid having a baby. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
Deadly though.
Yeah. But yeah, I'd tell you who, yeah. What about you?
Lethal. I actually have a few. Like my brothers. I looked up to my brothers. But I think little brothers do that anyways. You know what I mean? I always looked up to my two brothers. And yeah. Don't know. Do you know what we always say though? We always say me and brothers have actually talked about this before. Not talked about like this exact question, but well, like we actually didn't have a lot of people to look up to growing up. Do you know what I mean? Like our dad died young, so like whatever. So we didn't actually have a lot of people in our family where you can go, he's like hard working good bloke. Or, well, we do
like him.
We do have them, but I mean in a like close family, like
Yeah.
do you know what I mean? Like there wasn't a lot of people around where it was like I want to aspire to be that, to be that. Do you know what I mean? So we didn't have a lot of that. Like my uncle who died a few years ago, he would have been that for us. So my uncle Henry, yeah, he would have been that. So my two brothers and my uncle Henry, I'll go with, yeah, they would have been the ones. They're heavy boys, yeah. Oh, and you're a wanker, yeah.
Come to Malta for a live show.
Yeah, no bother.
What the fuck is her name? Is it Sorka? Sorcha.
Yeah,
Sorka.
yeah.
Yeah.
Never heard of Sharka before.
No.
I did, yeah.
Sorka.
Yeah, the Sharka fella.
Sounds like somewhere you're going holidays. Where are you doing your next live show? Sorka. No way, really?
I'd believe that.
I'd tell you, I'd do a world tour of Talking Bollocks if I could. Genuinely, if someone lined her up and says, lads, you're in France, then you're in Malta, then you're in Australia, and you're finishing her off in New York. Yeah, no, but sign me up there.
Get promoters in all these places and see if we have enough.
But we are branching out. Do you know what I mean? We done one on the north side. The next one, maybe.
Might be on the south side.
Might be outside
It might
Dublin.
be in Cork.
Yeah.
It might actually be Canada.
Yeah. I genuinely would. If someone came to us and did it, like, I don't want to have to go and say, right, Terence, you book your flight yet? No, I'm going to book mine now. And, oh, what's the venue? If someone goes, here's the venue, are you coming? There's flight details. Yes or no? Yeah, no, but I do it. I do a show anywhere.
Yeah.
Not a country in the world I wouldn't do one in.
Yeah. Lethal.
I had to double check that there, just make sure.
What? There's not a country?
I wouldn't do one in Qatar. Fuck Qatar. Boycott Qatar, yeah.
Yeah, fuck Qatar, boy.
Yeah.
And Russia.
Yeah. Right. Maybe Russia as well, yeah.
Fuck Russia.
Right, so.
Right, moving on. Do you think social media is doing more harm than good in recent years? So now actually, I don't know if you put this one down because I haven't actually read through them. Somebody said to us, Yeah, it's not written down. It's the same sort of thing, but would you rather the childhood you had or the childhood that kids will have nowadays with technology and phones and all?
Yeah, see, I think that's a very loaded question though, because obviously you're going to say the childhood you
Oh,
had, because
Obviously.
you're looking at the kids now and you think they have it bad, but they probably have it good. You don't know until they're in their situation.
See, when they grow up,
You're going to say they had a great childhood.
and they'll look back at our childhood and go, you had to knock for your friends. We
Yeah.
just had to FaceTime them.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And which was annoying, especially in the flats.
But-
Where they open the top bar and you back down. And then
You
you
know
open
what
the
was
top
mad,
bar
Terence?
and
My
yeah.
phone went dead the other day, right? And I was like, if somebody's looking for me, they have no means of getting in contact
Yeah.
with me. And I was like, back in the day, people didn't have phones. And if someone wasn't in the gaff and you knocked to them and they weren't there, you still got in contact with them somehow.
Yeah.
Or if somebody was looking for you, somebody told you.
It's only
They were
when you
looking
stop
for
and think about it. My phone fell in the toilet yesterday, boys. I didn't have, it was clean toilet it was, yeah? It did. My phone fell in the toilet yesterday and I was like, thank God that's waterproof. Like, because if that wasn't waterproof, yeah, I live on my own.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to be like, where the fuck is Terence?
Yeah.
Do you get
He's
me?
gone missing again.
Yeah. So, what happened?
Mm.
Like, because we were young, so like, we walked around before
Like
phone.
knocking for people. That was gas. And they were
I still knock for people.
Yeah.
I knock for you.
Yeah, you did, yeah. Yeah.
I did. I knock on Calvin's door and all. And
Yeah.
it's like, what's up? He's like, what?
And the man,
why
remember
did you
knocking
ring
for
me?
someone and you'd be like, is Terence there? Like, that's mad, isn't it?
Yeah.
People knocking for people.
Yeah.
You knock on someone's gaff now, do you ring the guard?
Trespassing.
Wouldn't answer the door anyways.
Yeah.
Anyone knocks on your door now, it's always bad news. Ring me.
Yeah.
It's a valid point, no?
No, it is. It's going to be the TV license man.
Yeah. No,
Or
it's
else
not.
it's not, because he's not real.
Yeah.
Right. And then this question then was, do you think social media is doing more harm than good?
Yeah, probably is more harm than good. I think the bad things definitely outweigh the good things.
I agree. Like I always say on this, I clearly see the benefits of social media.
Yeah.
Clearly. And I mean, if you're starting a business, if you're starting anything like that, like
yeah.
this podcast was a huge help by social media. Like, there's no two ways about it. So I do see the benefits to it. I think there's too many kids and teenagers especially, and even young adults in their early 20s of like looking up to influencers and people living in Dubai and think that's the life. And if I'm not there, like I'm doing something wrong. And I think the perception online, but I think this is like a new trend. I don't remember this being a thing like 3 years ago or 4 years ago. I feel like it's all new now to be like flashy in Dubai.
Yeah.
And, like,
Well,
I don't remember
I think
that.
I don't know, is it me because I've experienced this, but like, all that's very see-through. Because you know these
Yeah.
people don't have money.
Yeah,
And you know these people aren't working and they're not, whatever they are doing, you know it's not paying enough to have what they have.
yeah,
And if you think they have something, it's probably fake. You know, like that.
Yeah.
Oh, look, he has a Rolex watch. Well, he doesn't. It's probably not real.
yeah,
Probably Ricky Lake, you know what I mean? The boy's a kip from personal experience. And I don't get why people have this whole thing like, look what I have.
yeah,
But you don't have it. And I think you need to have pride in saying, I don't have it. Or if someone says, why don't you have a Rolex? I can't afford it. There's no shame.
Yeah.
Like, Rolex is what, 10 grand, say. I haven't got 10 grand to spare. You know, like that. And I seen a great one. Someone said before, said, there's people going out there spreading Dior on them, or spraying Dior on them, and then they're washing themselves with CN. Is that what it's called? The CIEN, the little brand. So they're spraying Dior aftershave on them, and they're washing themselves with little brand fucking
Yeah.
shower gel.
yeah,
You know, like that.
Yeah.
So like that's that perception. There's no harm in saying you can't afford something.
yeah.
Let's be
I
real
think
there.
there's too many people aspiring to be social media people.
Yeah, and that's another thing I actually had a problem with was people who are very flashy, and it's like people can break that bollocks to have like material things, and that's grand. That's no problem. Reward yourself, work hard, reward yourself. But ask yourself this question: am I going to pay €700 to wear a pair of runners? Where are you wearing them? I'm wearing them down to the pub on a Saturday night, some smelly pub. Who gives a bollocks what you're wearing in a pub? You're not going to the Oscars.
Yeah.
You're not at the Met Gala or whatever that yoke is called. What? Like, who are you trying to impress?
Yeah,
And that's another thing as well. Like, I've never looked at someone and been like, you know what? He worked hard for them runners. What's he doing? He's probably bleeding, doing something dodgy, anyways. No pride in that.
yeah,
If there's someone who's at the graft and setting up a business and they're thriving, and then they have a decent car, you'd be like, you know what? He's worked for that. He has something there that's admirable. But like, you see these flashy umplets and you're like, what? Who are you impressing?
Yeah.
Or is our ego that shallow that you need to stand out and impress people?
Yeah.
You
I
know,
think
like that?
social media. I think my whole perception of social media has changed a lot since like I started growing on social media. If that makes sense. Like I used to, I didn't like.
More exposure you have to it.
Yeah. So like people look at my Instagram now and they go like, oh, 30,000 followers or whatever, and I actually legit couldn't. Where there was a point in time where I would have been like, oh, I'd love to have 10,000 followers or we're not like. But now I literally don't give a bollocks about amount of followers. Like if I went onto my phone now and somehow I magically had 1 million followers, I promise you I wouldn't be like, that's unbelievable, I'm fucking buzzing now. You'd probably get a little yo go, what the fuck? But I don't give a fuck about that. Like I use my social media to put up things that I want to put up that I'm happy with putting up.
Promote.
Fresh picture of me, funny picture when I was a kid, and then the only real thing that I'm on, that's on my, if you want to my, it just may as well be the Talking Bollocks page.
Yeah.
It's only Talking Bollocks stuff.
Yeah.
And like people slag me on it because I just repost everything. Because like anytime I'm with someone and someone takes me something, most of the time I just repost it. Like why do you do that? You didn't even read the whole thing. But I'm like, it's just to get the podcast out there and stuff. You know what I mean? So I'm grateful for having that amount of followers because you can post it up and you can see on your stories like there's bleeding 20,000 people at the scene that. So what percentage of them is that they're going, oh, I'm not forgetting about that, I'm going to go over and listen, you know what I mean? So I'm grateful for that. But in terms of, I see people posting, getting balloons for 5 and 10,000 followers. And look, if that's what you're into, do that. But I just,
But that,
what is that? Like, it's not
that
5
people
grand a month.
aspiring to be like, I want to be an influencer. What is that like?
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Like you're not actually influencing anything.
Yeah.
What you're trying to do is just grow your page so that a brand will say, "Oh, this person has X amount of followers.
Yeah.
So to us, that's X amount of eyes. Here's a package. Throw that in your story. We're guaranteed to get them views in.
Yeah.
And you're trying to be that person that benefits from that.
Yeah.
Or you can just go about your life and get a bleeding job. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. Look, listen, if that's your aspiring to be, go ahead and do it. And if it works for you, and people, I think people love the idea of getting the free stuff, and there is a yoke to it. There is a yoke of being like, oh, these cunts get all this free, like, and whatever. And I used to think, I used to be like, that bastard's getting free clothes all
Well,
the time.
look into it because there's people out there and you think, you know what, they must have a few quid. They're doing this, not doing that, not doing this, and you're like, well, they got that for free. I know how much this show costs, and I know you can't. Like, there'll be something that you can't put a price on that they have or their own. And you'll be like, well, I know how they got that.
Yeah.
And you're like, just take a step back from social media and think about it.
But I think we sort of nearly stepped into the world, like, in terms of growing on it and all. And we've met 1,000 people off it now who are, like, influencers and all. And it's not real. Like, nothing is real. And I promise you that. We're on me hard. I promise you, nothing is real.
Yeah, even businesses. I I see people with businesses and then I see somebody else who wouldn't, they'd probably be doing something similar. Let's say they were painting businesses. And I see somebody who's painting businesses everywhere. And then I know somebody would have somebody personally who have a paint business and be like, it costs me this, this and this. This is how much money I make a month.
Yeah.
And I was like, Jesus, if you're doing that, well then that's happening to the other business as well.
Yeah.
So it's all perception and people will be looking at the one that's plastered everywhere and be like, they must be doing very well. Well, Eddie though.
You see a lot of people saying it now though, like people are only posting the good bits.
Yeah, that as well.
You know? Like no one's gonna post up and say we lost 10 grand today on the business. Not literally, but I mean, minus money on the business. No one's gonna do that. But when they do get the good profits or whatever it is that they're getting off it, they're gonna post that. You know what I mean? So yeah,
it's a lot of perception. Just, I think a lot of people like
be careful what you wish for.
Yeah,
But
and just be careful what you're looking at as well. You know, question everything.
How you're aspiring to be.
Question
Careful,
everything you see online.
Yeah.
You know, just when you see something, be like, oh, let's have a little look into that.
Yeah.
And do a bit of research and homework on it.
Yeah.
We went off on a tangent there.
We did go off on a tangent there, but yeah.
Speaking of negatives of online, right? You wanted to touch on ADHD.
Yeah. Do you want me to go?
Yeah.
Yeah, just because
You have something that you want to talk about. I have something I want to mention as well.
all right,
about
yeah.
separate.
So I'm obviously getting. I don't know what's happening in the last, say, 2 months because you see the Talking Bollocks messages every day. We're getting an awful lot of messages of people saying, oh, I got assessed and I got diagnosed with ADHD, so I'm at being prescribed, say, or I'm at being told I have to take Ritalin now. Should I take it? And my personal page getting hopped over. And it's like the last 2 or 3 months, like an awful lot of messages. And I just think, like, don't be asking us, like, I don't, what do we
We're
even
not
say?
doctors,
Like, you can't, every single person is different. You can't go, he has ADHD, so I'm going to ask him if he took Ritalin.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not how it works.
I think saying should I take it is like don't ask us that, but probably a better question to ask is have you taken it?
Me?
Well, yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't took Ritalin, but that wasn't, obviously I got, is diagnosed the right word?
Yeah.
Yeah, I got diagnosed with, I know what diagnosed means, because a lot of people are like, you do be playing super on that, I know you're smart, and yeah, I always ask, is this what it means? But I legit didn't know if you'd say diagnosed with ADHD, you know what I mean? But yeah, so I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was like a teenager or whatever, or when I was young teens, like, you know what I mean? And I was prescribed Ritalin. And me ma, like, that was on me ma to give to me. Like, it's not like as if I can win a fucking girl or whatever. So me ma got Ritalin for me, but she never gave it to me. Because she said a load of people used to say to her, don't give that, it's bad for them and blah, blah, blah. But she was only going off her say, so she just never gave it to me. So, like, I'm actually grateful for that in a sense, though. Because I'm not saying don't fucking give your kids Ritalin.
You're just giving your personal
my
experience.
personal experience with it, like,
If the doctor's telling you to do it, it's obviously for a reason.
because it was like, it would have been easy for my man, because like when I was young, I was bad, like I was a bastard every fucking day, non-stop. And do you know what the thing is as well with ADHD? I think people have this perception of what a person with ADHD is, and if they're not banging their head off a wall or shaking something or fucking,
They haven't got it.
they don't have it.
Yeah.
Where like it's like anything with a label. Like, I think if you say to someone, what's an alcoholic, they'll automatically think of someone lying on the floor on their own piss with fucking dirty fingernails and yellow fingers. Where there's functional alcoholics who drink 7 days a week and go to work.
Yep.
So, and I think with ADHD, people go, like, people would, now no one ever does me, anyone who meets me sort of goes, yeah, do you ever get tested for ADHD? Do you get me? But I'm just talking about from like from hearing it around a lot, because a lot of people think, like, if you have ADHD, you have to be banging your head off the wall and whatever. Well, it's not like that. Like,
There's certain traits.
and there's so many traits to it. And the thing is, most likely, actually, we said it earlier on, fucking, see these online tests?
That's what I wanted to talk about. Stop doing them.
Fuck off.
And I've seen, do you know what I've done? I've seen people screenshot it and share it and be like, oh, this explains a lot. This is me. What? Because you get hyper. You get hyper because you're full of energy. I get hyper, and this is what wrecks my head as well, because some people would say to me, you have it, and I say, I don't have it.
Yeah.
Because I know people who have it. And I think that's an insult to them.
Yeah.
You know, like that. You can't just go around saying he has it, she has it, they have it, definitely. This person, like yourself, Terence, this person has been set down, tests have been done on them, they've been assessed, they've been diagnosed for it.
Yeah.
If I say something stupid, or I'm hyper, or I'm acting the bollocks, that's just me acting the bollocks.
Yeah, like,
You can't just say he has ADHD.
people automatically think you have to be hyperactive 24/7. When I'm actually not like that. Like when I am, like, get fucking high energy and whatever, like, there's times when I shut down. And like if you are around me when I shut down, like, and I'm talking, this probably happens every day to me, and I don't know what it is. So, and I used to say to myself, I must be bipolar as well. But it's not that. I don't know what it is. It's like I can be buzzing, and then it's like, right, shut down and just, like, nothing on me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I don't know. My brother was saying that he's seen something online about people with ADHD, like, preserving energy or something like that, and they went to shut it, because my brother used to always ask me, what the like, are you all right? I'd be like, yeah, I'm fresh, I just, like, need to relax for a minute. So I don't know what it is, but, like, I know people who, like, legit have ADHD, like, bad, like, obviously I'm diagnosed with it. I'm killed. Like, I can sit down and converse with someone. Like I can sit down and I'm killed with that. And why is that called converse, by the way?
You have a podcast.
Yeah, literally. But yeah, you scattered that, no? 72 episodes in. Why is that's gonna annoy me now as well? So it's called a conversation, yeah? Why isn't it called sit down and conversate with someone?
This must mean she ain't trying to wait. Conversate, sex on the first date.
Do you see what I mean?
You know what you do to me. I start off and I don't usually, and then I whip it out. Rub it, no doubt. Step out, show me what you all about. Fingers in your mouth, open up your blouse, pull your G-string down south. Ow.
Right, so yeah, I love it though. I do love it. Where was I going? Yeah, so that should be called conversate, yeah, rather than
Converse.
Because I
I
said,
thought Converse were runners.
yeah, do you know? I said that one day. I was like, God, sit down and conversate, and they were like, converse, man. I was like, all right, you take you.
Yeah.
Anyway, where was I going with that?
That you just shut down, you have a reserve of energy or something like that.
Yeah, and I said something after that about sitting down and oh yeah, so I can sit down and like so. As I said, like people have this perception. If you have ADHD, you can't even sit down and look someone in the eye or talk to them. You must be like wandering and blah blah blah. And don't get me wrong, I fucking do that. You get me, like, because like I think more with me is like obviously I am a bleeding nuisance. You're around me every day, but like it's more the mind. Like my mind is 24/7 non-stop. But I know people, and so do you. We have friends who literally cannot converse. They can't. Like they're not capable of it, and there's different spectrums to ADHD, of course, as well. Like I was saying there, we know people who literally cannot sit down and have a chat. They're literally non-stop. You say something to them, and their mind is gone, and I'm like, that's a bad case of that.
So I have a theory about this, and you always laugh at it, but
it's a great theory.
It works, like it's proven. So the people who say I have ADHD, it's usually me board and whole family.
Yeah.
But that's because I'm alone with them, and I do like they're just quiet, and I'm louder than them, and I'm hyper.
Yeah.
Right. So then when I'm with you, I kind of quiet down, and then you go up a level.
Yeah.
So you quiet me down.
Yeah.
And then we have a friend who's really bad, and he quiets you down. And what I always say is, God bless the fella who quiets him down.
It's just a chain of people who shut the other down because they're worse.
Just, I'm louder than you stay quiet kind of thing. I would give him a shout out to Mossy. You have the worst case of ADHD.
I want to sit there and say, now we can't possibly shout him out. But
So I'm alright here, and then Terence comes along, I go down, Terence goes up, and then when I'm with Mossy, there's not a peep out me and Terence, and Mossy's like, and I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
God bless the fellow who quiets him down.
Yeah, Mossy, that's who I was getting at there. I didn't want to say her name because you don't get offended.
He's a big fan of the podcast. I can't wait to send the voice message into the group.
Oh, thanks for the shout out, boys, blah, blah, blah. Oh, me mate saying to me in the pub.
Oh, you have got ADHD, 50. Boom. That's what he sounds like.
Literally him. But yeah, so like,
stop self-diagnosing yourself.
And stop self-diagnosing your
and
kids.
Stop doing online stuff as well. Like, oh, look at this, yeah, blah, blah, blah. It's nothing to brag about. It is a serious condition. Go seek professional help.
No, it's not life or fucking death either.
No, but go and seek professional help. Let them diagnose you. Kids is the next thing as well. People saying, oh, my child has ADHD. Oh, that's a little bastard.
Get them assessed, and if they have it, they have it. Kill.
Chastise your kids in a different way.
Yeah, whatever. I don't know. But don't be self-diagnosing. Yeah, don't do that. Like, cause it does take away from kids who.
I think there is an insult
because there actually is a problem. Like it's only now that I look back on myself as a kid and go, "Fuck me!" Like I was a little bastard. Like things I used to do when I used to be on my own. I'd be walking down the road on my own. I'd be, I'm just gonna do this, and I'd look back now and I'm like, "Why the fuck did I do that?" But I know now. Because it's obviously, I don't know, I'm very impulsive as well. But I was even more back then. I was like, oh, see me.
You're getting better with the impulsive stuff.
I am. Like,
remember how hard it was to get you not to comment on something? Oh. Next level. Hang on. What's your favourite memory the two of you have had together from Lee?
So I was only thinking, like, oh, this is going to be mad bleeding.
Is this in the heavy pile?
Sentimental, because...
No, this actually falls under the light pile. Or is it heavy? I don't know what way you had these all yoke, but yeah, go on.
Bro, we've done a lot. Honestly, like if someone...
Some journey.
Like if someone asked me about, look, I don't like saying it to you, like, but like obviously you're my best mate, you know what I mean? Like the shit we have done in the space of a year and a half is like I can't, because every time something happens, I'm like, this is a mad. This is mad. Like in terms of when you sign the contract for this, and we're like, we're robbing a living. Yeah. And we go on like Ireland AM, and we're like,
and the live show and all.
The live show, and there's been a million things, and every time I'm like, that was the best. No, that was the best. Yeah. But then like if I look back to I can't actually pick one, but the shit we've done, like even sitting down with Christy Dignam singing last week.
Do you know what? I listened back to that, Terence, and I was like, that's mad, because we actually know him.
Like Christy's one of the boys, like I'd knock into his gaff for a cup of tea.
We legit know him.
Yeah.
I mean, he's chatting to us, like, he knows stuff about us, we know stuff about him. That's madness.
I did that the day before he was coming on. I didn't just do it on purpose. I actually always listen to Aslan. But look, on YouTube I was flicking through, and then there was the This Is live in Vicar Street 99. You know that one? And he says, your man in the white t-shirt.
Yeah, he's the middle.
Yeah, and I was looking at that and I was like, tomorrow I'm gonna be sitting in a room with him and he knows us.
Yeah.
And he's like, we're the boys, like, you know what I mean? That alone is mental.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then sitting down at a table with him and having a very, very, very good conversation. Like that, like every week, Calvin, you know what I'm like, every week I'm like, fucking podcast, I don't know how I feel. Like, so I'm really like, we could have did this better, should have asked that. Every week, bang on. But last week I sort of left and I was happy. And I was like, that's Christy Dignam at the sitting down and having a very good take on drug addiction and drug use and in Ireland with us. And I think we did all
And
right.
music as well.
Handling it.
When you listen back, you went on a mad one at the start about music.
But a brilliant chat.
Yeah, and I was
better,
just like, oh.
a better insight than I could have ever imagined. Because I would have always thought an artist will obviously rather play Crow Park than Vicar Street.
Yeah.
Because they're more people,
More
they're
people
bigger.
that- yeah, yeah.
And when he said it and then broke it down, I was like, that makes so much more fucking sense
Yeah.
in my head now than I ever could have if anybody else had to explain it. Only Christy Dignam could have told me that and made it make that much sense. So that whole podcast, and then at the end, like he sings us the two songs, The Greenfields of France and Waltz and Matilda, and I'm like, they're just special little moments. But
Yeah, but when it happened, I was like, this was another day in the podcast.
yeah,
It's mad. Like, have you ever been starstruck on the podcast? Because I haven't. And I know that sounds weird, but if you told me you're going to meet this person in 3 or 4 months' time, I'd be like, fuck. But then when we do meet them, I'm just like, what's the story? How are you?
yeah. I think. What's the word I'm looking for? I think like we're actually smoother than we think we are in terms of that. Because like Christy, we should have been starstruck. We got him on episode 17, rocked into his kitchen.
Yeah.
What's up, kid? Do you get me? Like we should have been like,
Oh, yeah.
but I think we have that thing where we like, because we're just the boys.
Yeah.
Do you get me? And we let everyone know that no matter who we meet, we're the boys. We're not looking for clickbait. We're not fucking journalists. Nothing wrong with journalists. I'm just saying. We're not looking for clickbait.
Not a hatchet job.
Yeah.
It's not a hatchet job.
Yeah, it's not a hatchet job. So when you come in here, we're going to just have a conversation. It's not an interview either.
Yeah. Just a little chat.
I'm going to have the buzz. And if you say it's stupid and you don't want to tell us, we'll cut it. And when we do that, it's like, as soon as we have that conversation, then we just chill down and we're chatting. It's like, yeah, it's hard to get starstruck then. Good question.
That is a good question. I don't know. Yeah, it is a weird one. I have to say, probably where like the peak probably would have been the live show. You have to say that. I think because like going level to level to level, but seeing that and just being like, this thing is big. I think there was one there about what was the moment you realised the podcast was going to be something big. Jack said that. So it wasn't the live show. When I realised it was going to be something big, was in the first 2 weeks. And that's when I was like, bollocks. And the reason I said bollocks
I remember you
was
said that, yeah.
because we're going to have to do this every week now. And we're going to have to keep delivering.
Yeah.
And I remember thinking, like, how do we do it? Because there's no blueprint, there's no formula. No one was telling us how to do it. No one was like, lads, you come in, you do this, you'll be grand. No one was doing that. And I was like, I don't know how we're going to manage this.
Yeah.
You know, didn't even have anywhere to record it, like, no equipment. But when the demand, and when the thing just started taking off, and remember at the start, we were like, how will we get like such and such a person on? And we're like, fuck it, will we just message them? And then they'd message you back, and you'd be like, oh, like, that's grand. And even when you go into the DMs now on the podcast, like, there's certain people around the country who will be big deals, and we could send them a message and they message us back, and you'd be like, yeah, sound. You know, like that. I think in the first 2 weeks I knew this was going to be big.
Yeah. Well, that's... there was a question asked earlier on, whatever. But that's, if you're wondering why, like, the dream was to do the podcast, was because I knew there was that. Like, it's not like as if it wasn't that much of a thought process, but it was part of the process. Was nobody else is doing it. There's no, like, there's the two Johnnies. There's fucking...
Give a shout out to them as well, by the way.
Shout out to the boys. And if we had a, like, tag team boxing match off two Johnnies, we'd mill them.
Yeah, it would. Like,
I think actually someone
that was
asked
a
that.
question.
Was that a question?
It was a question, yeah. Who would win this?
I'd punch the head off the two Johnnies, but I liked them. That sound.
They played a show in the Tree Arena the other night. It looked lethal. Fair play to them. Credit where it's due.
Better word it's you, the boys.
Something else I wanted to address. Somebody said that we weren't allowed to do other podcasts because Go Loud wouldn't let us. Like, we done a shout out to the boys as well.
Where's your head at?
Yeah.
Legends.
Legends to the three boys there. Yeah, go on and check out that episode. We done great laugh with them three. You know what I mean? We're open to doing another podcast, and there will be more
Are we though?
crossovers. Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
very conscious of doing. Like, I will definitely do with a podcast.
That
but
means, so
not
we are
every,
open.
Not
No,
every. Oh,
we're
yeah,
open
yeah.
to doing it, but we're not going to do every podcast.
Yeah. I'm very wary.
So if someone tells you something about us, ask us. You know what I mean? Don't believe the rumour mill. Ask us. More than likely, we'll write back to you and tell you the truth.
Yeah,
That's what they're doing on Ask Us Aunt, isn't
yeah.
it? What else? We were talking about something else there.
I was saying, about niche in the market for two young
Yeah.
still to do a podcast. You get me? And then it just happened. It's actually weird how it happened as well. Like, because we didn't grow up together and that, we just became mates. And then like,
Similar views.
yeah, similar views on a lot of stuff. And we started a podcast together. And I think that's why, like, I hate being like, oh, we blew up, because it's like, I don't.
You know what kind of clicked with me? Do you remember when Des Bishop was on and he wasn't like, he hadn't listened to much of the podcast. He listened to bits.
And he opened up with the whole.
And he was like, I get it. Yeah, two
Yeah.
working class lads misrepresented in the media. So he said, you're going to come in and fill that gap yourselves. And I was like, yeah, exactly.
He never heard us saying that.
Yeah. And I was like, in the mad.
Like, and he said that after.
Yeah.
Because we were like, did you hear us talking about something? Like, and he was like, I've never heard you saying that, boys.
Yeah.
He was like, I just know that.
Yeah. And
And I was like,
he's
that's mental.
we didn't need to say that, and you summed it up perfectly. Yeah. And that's exactly
Because
what
we
it
knew
is.
what the intentions were from the start.
Yeah.
So,
So that was that one. Is there any more there? Do you run fast or chasing someone or when getting chased? David said that. I don't know. I've never really had to chase anybody, but getting chased, you go into fucking life or death. Honestly, boys. Do you ever see me get chased?
whenever I do catch someone when I chase them, I think, how did I catch him? Because if I was in his shoes, no one was catching me.
Yeah.
Do you ever get like that? Like, obviously getting chased was the best thing ever. That's all I want.
Yeah, but do you ever get like in a situation where you can't stop and the fear kicks in and your legs
yeah.
just go, boom, you're gone. You're in auto drive then.
Yeah.
You just put it into fourth and you open up and you're
And
gone. There's no catching you.
After you stop and think, how did I run that fast?
Yeah. Like, if you told me to run that
99
fast, I
pace
would
on
never make it.
Yeah, never.
Never make it. So I think you run faster when you're getting chased.
Are these a load of zingers, Eddie?
I don't know. There's
Like, do they count as zingers? What other ones have we got? What's your thoughts on Jake Paul?
I think it was brilliant to see Eddie Hearn absolutely roasting them all last week.
Yeah, I'd agree.
I know people are like, oh, fair play to him, like what he's doing, he's making money and all, but Eddie Hearn called him out for what he was. He's an average boxer, and he got really offended. He's like, oh, I fought this world champion. He's like, no, you fought a former UFC world champion. Doesn't count. And he's right. I think he has a platform, his profile is so big because anyone who's online these days seems to be a superstar. There's a lot of people out there he's trying to fish at, like McGregor. Remember, he done the big thing with McGregor. He's calling him out. Oh, there's a check, and he's calling his wife this and that and the other. He didn't buy. So he's doing stuff that's kind of bottom of the barrel stuff. He wants to fight Tommy Fury. He was probably a below average boxer. He was, again, only has a profile because of Love Island, and who his brother is, not because he's an established boxer in the amateur ranks. I think a decent boxer worth assault beats Jake Paul. His promotion, yeah, Eddie Hearn, what I loved about Eddie was when Eddie was like, yeah, Kate Taylor's going to win, and Jake was like, oh, I bet all this jewellery I have on, and he's up to say, look at me, I'm flash, I'm cool, and Eddie was like, what, 10 grand? Generally to put him in his place. That stuff was good, and then Jake was like, let's have a bet, and then he's like, I don't even want to bet with you, like, this doesn't have to be a bet. Can we not just establish that we're putting on one of the biggest fights in history, and we move on and enjoy it?
Bet though, didn't he?
Yeah, they pulled out of it in the end, but like, that's what Jake is, you know, he's that kind of the low-hanging fruit kind of stuff, but yeah, he is making a career out of him, so I suppose fair play to him in that sense, but that's what I think about him.
Yeah, cool.
What do you think?
I'm a bit of a fan.
Yeah?
Like, I'm not. I don't like Jake Paul, but I'm a fan of what he's done in terms of, the easy thing to say to someone is, he hasn't fought a boxer yet. But to go from a young fella who's never put on a pair of gloves 3 years ago, 4 years ago, to being, I don't give a fuck if it's Ben Askren. Like, if you don't, obviously Ben Askren's the least of the worries, but then to go on and knock Tyron Woodley out, I don't give a fuck. Like, you put any other young fella, I'm not saying any other young fella, but I mean the average young fella in a pair of boxing gloves and say in 3 years' time you're going to fight Tyron Woodley. The average young fella.
Strictly boxing though, that's the thing.
I get that, I understand that, but you need.
That's why I think
these young
his
fellas
marketing
box.
team is brilliant, as in they picked people who are not at that level, but kind of tick a box to say, oh, he is that level. But they're not.
I appreciate hard work though.
Yeah, no, definitely. That's look. He
And
didn't,
look, I said it.
he didn't just get there. Like,
I think I
obviously he
said
had to
it
work.
in the episode with Dylan Morton and the two of us were like, "Ah, he's shy," and I get it. Like, obviously, I can't prove my point, or not that I'm trying to prove a point, but nobody can prove the point until he does
Till
go
he
out
fucks
and make a statement. Do you know what I mean? You can only base it off what he has done, and what he has done is brilliant in the such a short space of time, and then selling himself perfectly.
I would have more respect if he actually fought people who were amateur boxers and turned pro. Like someone like Dylan, who had an amateur career and then turned pro.
Make it happen.
If he fought someone like that, I'd be, fair enough. You know what I mean? Imagine him and Dylan had a scrap on the undercard of Taylor and Serrano and Croke Park.
Make it
That's
happen.
a show.
It is a show.
I don't think we can just check that box if he beats Tommy Fury, because I think Tommy Fury's not up that much either.
Yeah, do you know what the thing is? He probably does beat Tommy Fury.
That's right,
It's the
genuinely,
mad But again, it's still another one of them things. He put on a glove 3 or 4 years ago. I appreciate that. Like, but again, he's a wanker, isn't he? Like, he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
He
It was
knows
just
what
good to
he's
see Eddie Hearn roasting him.
Yeah.
Um,
If you could tell your younger self anything, what would it be? Who said that one? Nick. Oh, and why didn't you put second names, man?
yeah.
How many Nicks
Every Nick in the
listen to
country.
this fucking podcast?
Yeah.
That's in the heavy section, by the way.
Obviously.
Oh. Struggling there, pal.
Yeah, you think you're funny calling me out because you haven't got an answer either.
I do.
Go on then. Yeah.
No, I do, but why is it always mad deep?
Because it's in the heavy section.
But fair play to you for that on. Because when you said heavy, I was like, alright. They're fucking heavy, like, aren't
He
they?
doesn't mean heavy on the scales. He means literally heavy.
Yeah, they're heavy. I would say, tell me younger self that life isn't that deep. I used to get so worked up over things, little things in life. I used to be a bleeding mad joke, but like not in that sense, but I used to be a bleeding mad bleeding young. Like I used to bleeding worry a lot and bleeding have anxiety over things and whatever and want to have things done. Like I still actually didn't want things done yesterday, but I mean, like when I was younger, how do I explain this? This is what I mean. How do I have a podcast if I don't know how to talk?
Being anxious.
Yeah, like, but not like anxious, like, oh, I can't talk to someone or that, like
Yeah.
that, but I would have been anxious about where I'm gonna go in life. Do you get me?
I think that's natural to worry though.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
that's kind of what I was going to say there.
But like, what I would tell myself now, if I could, would be, it's not that deep. Relax, chill out.
You'll get there. Like,
You'll get there, and you'll get where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
Look, that sounds mad. I hate the corny shit, boys, because I hate.
but you know what?
I hate when I
Terence,
look
it's
at an
good advice
interview.
because someone could be bleeding 16, 17 and worrying like that, and they'd be like, do you know what? There's Terence.
Yeah, I hate
You're
when.
older than me. Like,
I hate when you look at an interview of someone who's successful, and we are by no means successful. So I'm not saying I'm doing that, but I'm saying I hate when I look at an interview of someone successful and they're like, "What's going to happen will happen," and blah blah. Blah. But it is true. Like life is not that deep, and like relax, like take it in, like it's cool. You're going to get where you're supposed to go. Whatever work you're putting in whatever section in life, whatever amount of work you put in, you're going to get back. It's a fact.
yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, even if it's just painting walls, more fucking walls you paint, and the more you want to do it, you'll become the best at it. Simple as, do you get me?
If I was to look back, I would say you don't know it all. You haven't got it figured out.
I still think you think like that now.
What? What you mean?
You don't know it all. You do know it all.
I actually don't know it all.
You-
There's so much stuff. I think, yeah, obviously I know what I know and I know it well.
yeah,
Yeah. But I know enough to know I don't know it all.
yeah.
Do you know, like that? And I think
Yeah.
you have to humble yourself and be like, there's always room for growth. There's always room to take people's advice on board.
When have you learned that? Do you reckon you learned that through the podcast, or you learned that a couple of years ago, or?
Yeah, I just learned it through life, mate.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? You learn it through the good times and the hard times. You learn it through. That's why I'm saying meet people from different walks of life. You know what I mean? That's why I always say to you about going and traveling and to other countries, because you see, you never know who
Different
you're gonna
cultures
meet.
and all that, yeah.
You know who you're gonna cross paths with, and there's always there's lessons you can take from everyone in life, and whether that be good or bad, whether it be good like I want to be like him, or bad as in I never want to be like him.
Yeah.
That kind
It's
of thing.
still a lesson.
It's still a lesson, and realise you don't know all, and you'll see people who are older than us, lot more wiser, but they still listen.
Yeah.
You know, like that. So I'd say, yeah, you don't know it all. Because I was 16, I had it all figured out. You know what I mean?
I think we all did in our teen years, didn't we though?
Yeah.
We thought we had life wrapped
Yeah.
up, and then you end up in the gut and you're
Yeah,
like, what the
bollocks.
fuck, how do I get out of
Yeah.
here?
I had one there. I can't remember what I was going to fucking say now because it wasn't written down, but I seen it earlier. It was an early question.
Have a flick through.
Yeah.
Come on to your phone, have a flick.
Yeah, no, hang on. There's another one here. How do I stop smoking weed when weed is all I have? I don't drink or use. That was an anonymous question. I think I've had this conversation with people privately on my own page. I think there's an awful problem with weed, and I think it's abused an awful lot.
See,
Probably
remember
more-
a few weeks ago when you asked, should weed be legalised? I'm like,
Yeah.
obviously, I'm on the yes side, but people say yes for the wrong reasons.
Yeah. I think people think because it has no real physical damage to you, as in, like, you can't tell what a weed smoker looks like. They don't go gaunt or anything like that. But I think psychologically it does. I don't buy this that it's not addictive. Do you ever hear that weed isn't addictive?
Of course, it's addictive.
It's addictive. I know plenty of people, like family members, who if they don't have a joint, you can tell they didn't have a joint. And I mean, they are fucking snapping.
Yeah.
And one thing I heard from people when they do, because I've a load of friends, the friends I had who started smoking weed when they did,
Yeah.
they still smoke it now.
Yeah.
And they tell me, like, there'll be periods in the year they might go a month off it, and they just say, like, they have mad dreams and all. And I'm like, that can't be fucking good for you. That's obviously doing something. It's blocking something or it's putting something in that's making you dream this way.
Yeah.
Another one told me they do it to suppress things. Like, they start having thoughts, and it is trauma. Like, people dying, certain people in their life have died, and he said, when I stop smoking it, I think about them people. And I was like, Jesus, like, you need help, mate. You don't need a joint, you need help. I think it makes a lot of people paranoid. There's a lot of schizophrenic things, and the reason why I said it should be legalised is probably because you don't know what you're smoking. It's laced with stuff, or probably a high THC concentration in it. Whereas if it was regulated and legalised, you can go into a shop and say, I want one that's going to make me mellow and give me this kind of buzz, blah, blah, blah. The way you can in California, you can actually pick what strain you want, and it tells you the THC and the CBD content overall. So you know what you smoke. Like, if you went in off license, you can pick up a can and say, oh, this has 3% alcohol.
Yeah.
You know, like that.
Yeah.
Or this is a spirit that has a 30% alcohol in it.
Yeah.
I know this. Whereas imagine drink was illegal and someone hands you a cup, here, drink that. What is it? It's drink. Alcohol. It's going to make you drunk. You don't know what it is. Is it whiskey or is it bleeding? I don't know.
Yeah.
Guinness.
Rockshore.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's why I think it should be regulated. I think the weed stuff, people know who smoke weed. They want to get off it. So, but you acknowledging that, you know it's a problem. Whereas if it wasn't a problem, you wouldn't want to get off it.
But the whole addiction thing, I think people just try. It's like anything. It's like even people who sniff, people who do coke, tell you, I'm not addicted. I don't need to do it Monday to Thursday. But you have to do it on the weekends. They're doing it on the weekends, you're still addicted to it.
Yeah.
You can't go out and drink and not do it. That's an addiction. Like, but they'll tell you because they can stop during the week, then
Yeah.
it's not an addiction, you know? And it's almost like that. It's like, because they love it and want to do it, they'll tell you, I'm not addicted to it.
Yeah.
So,
But
like,
I don't think weed has the stigma that
no,
coke has.
No, it doesn't. I'm just giving an example of people
Yeah.
when they go, oh no, I'm not addicted to it. Like, I just smoke it because I like it. Well, try and stop smoking it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
If it's going to benefit your life.
And of course,
smoking
well, like, I can't say of course it's because, like, I actually think there is benefits to it. But I think if you're abusing it, there's a difference between using weed and abusing weed. Do you know what I mean?
think a lot of people abuse it. I think
Too many people, and they're the people that will say weed should be legal, and I'm
Yeah.
like, yeah, but it should be legal
you're
for
only
the right
saying
reason.
it's legal so you can walk down the road with it.
And not get pulled.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And listen, anyways, regardless, pulling people and bringing them to court for enough for a joint.
That's
and
a
all,
different
That's
conversation.
a whole other conversation that needs to happen. Like, that's fucking ridiculous. Actually, yeah, no, it's grand.
Go on, talk about it. You may as well.
No, just we haven't had a go at the garden in a while, haven't we? Not.
No.
And you know what? Look, I was gonna bring this up like next week or something, but I'm gonna bring it up now. Or will I?
Yeah, go for it.
They're just childish, aren't they? No, they are. They're childish, and obviously not all of them. Like, we actually have coppers pull us, Calvin, who listed them. And you know what the thing is? If you ever do pull us and tell us that you like the podcast and we seem a bit standoffish and walk off, like, we can't. Like, I don't want to
Oh,
in the
yeah,
nicest way possible. I don't want to stand there and talk to a copper in uniform. Look, I don't want the boys to walk past and go, "Taryn just talking to a copper." I honestly don't. I think there is a stigma around that, like where we're from, and that's the reason why. So I don't like that. But I think the Garden now we don't like that, and they're in this so many. And the only reason why I'm bringing this up is because it's happening so often now. And I think, I don't know, we slagged them the other week. We didn't even slag them. We were like clampers, Lewis inspectors, and then I go as coppers as well. And I feel like it's at the spark and something or something. Because the last couple of days or weeks or whatever, like a guard car drove past me the other day and they're beeping and they're waving at me, but they're not like, it's trying to be smart. You get me? They're like, hey, yeah. And I'm like, that's a prick move. Like.
I had this conversation with a mate, and he triggered something in me, and I went off on a mad one. But to sum it all up at the end, I says, how am I 28? Yeah, I work, I don't drink, don't do drugs, I've no convictions, and I've never had a positive interaction with the Garda. Every interaction I've ever had with a cop has been negative.
Except for the cop I was chasing down Henry Street.
That was the only time. And even at that, what did I do? I ran.
Yeah.
Because it's inbred into me. Get out of there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I've been stopped on the street because of where I'm from, what I'm wearing, and they want to take all your details. For what? Do a warning check on him. Why? Because I'm walking down the road.
Yeah.
Come here. Look at, and yeah, I know why you didn't want to go into it, because we can do a whole episode breaking this down.
And we will.
The messages I've had. Do you know what broke me heart one day, Terence? And I rang you, and I swear I was absolutely devastated over it. When someone messaged us and said they listened to an episode, it was an old episode because you said we hadn't talked about this in a while, and they had a boyfriend who was a copper, and they were stopped outside a shop, and a young fella pulled in an Audi, and the fella said to his girlfriend, "Betcha he's a drug dealer." And she goes, "How do you know?" He goes, "Because this is what we are told to look out for. If he has a flashy car, there's a good chance he's a drug dealer." And I knew that's how the guy thought. I know that. Like, I've been stopped many a time in my car. But hearing it from the horse's mouth was like, whoa. You know what I mean? It was a devastating blow, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, being told, imagine there's an establishment out there put in to serve the public, serve the country. It's being funded by the taxpayer, and this is what's going on.
But this is no surprise to us. But
it's no surprise, but hearing it,
yeah,
and being like confirmed, you're like, all right,
yeah, it's like, yeah, like I'm not surprised by it, but it's different when you do hear it. It's like it's actually confirming everything that we know is being going on, but it's just confirming that.
And I don't buy this whole, oh, we're not all like that, but every copper I've interacted is like that.
Yeah.
Except, of course, that one on Henry Street who stopped me and apologised. He says, and he said, "I know what it's like," and apologised.
Yeah.
So you can't tell me that we're just being paranoid.
But we're not being paranoid. Like,
oh, we're in this like Goldilocks area where it's always like this. No, he wouldn't apologise if he knew there was nothing wrong.
Calvin, I cannot tell you the amount of times. Let's just say the amount of times I've been pulled by the guard and questioned, "Where are you going? What's your name? Give me your details." Since I'm 18, let's say, to now, it's a stupid amount of times I've been pulled. I'm getting pulled because the way I look, the way I'm dressing,
And the area, right?
and the area I'm in, right? Because I'm from this area, yeah. I would like to know how many times and I know this happens to all my mates, because we all have this issue when it's happening to you, when it's happening to everyone. I'd like to know how many times people in nicer areas, let's say like Dorky or something like that, or Foxrock, how many times the average young fella between 18 and 25 gets pulled over the years? I'd say probably 2 or 3 times at the very max.
I say you're being very generous there.
Like, they probably don't know what it's like to be
Probably
pulled.
never.
I've been pulled, I cannot, like, a stupid amount of times in that space of time. So that confirms to me, and don't try and tell me, nobody out there try and tell me that they do pull young fellas from the, because they don't. Like, I don't, now I'm nearly profiling people, but I don't want to say if I was wearing skinny jeans and Vans, you get me? But if I didn't wear tracksuits and I dressed a bit more casual and I was walking around a different area, I wouldn't be pulled that much. It's a fact. And that sort of thing proves it. You know? And the other month, I looked in there because I told the boys in there as well, and I told you as well, very, very fucking childish. I was out on the walk, my head was actually wrecked in the gaff, yeah? So when I'm like that, I'd put the earphones in and just walk. And I was on a float and I was walking up, I was walking up Black Horse Avenue. I'll just say where I was walking up, doesn't matter. But I was walking up Black Horse Avenue and, you all right? I was walking up Black Horse Avenue, and a guard car was driving down towards me. So I'm on this side of the road, and the guard car's coming down towards me. And I look in, and I see them looking, and they're sort of smiling and looking. And I was like, oh, good luck, here we go. So they drove past me, and I looked back, and they were doing a Yui. So I was like, here we go. This is probably about 9 or 10 o'clock. So I was walking up. I just kept walking. I looked back and seen them, and I kept walking, but I turned the earphones off, you know what I mean? So they pulled in about 5 or 10 yards in front of me, right? And I was like, they're waiting for me to walk past to pull me or whatever. So I just kept walking. When I look in, the two of them are smiling at me, right? Just smiling, right? And I said to them, what are you doing? And they literally just sat there, and then they're talking to each other, and they're looking back, and I was like, idiots, like. So I kept walking. They did it again, about 10 yards in front of me. I'm walking up again for a minute, so they stayed parked. They drive up and around and park about 10 yards in front of me for me to walk past. They start smiling and wave this time, and they're waving and smiling, and I was like, I know they're probably trying to provoke me there, or they want me to react there and be like, what, you fucking idiots, or whatever. But I wasn't going to
Like,
get
imagine thinking, like, that's what they're doing. They're provoking people.
But that,
Imagine that, like.
my thought process was actually, like, if they think that bothered me, because it didn't bother me, if my whole thought process was, they're getting paid for this, the jammy cunts. That's all I thought. On my man's lip, I was like, jammy bastards.
Imagine that's their job. They're to serve the public, and they're trying to provoke a young fella then, and then go down and...
Like to me, that's funny now, do you get me? But I'm like, come off it, like. Do you know what I mean? And obviously, we know every copper is not like that, and we have coppers who listen to the podcast.
I seen a video of a young one getting nicked the other night. She's 15, and I mean, manhandled. And I was like, why are you even arresting her in the first place? Like, two fully grown men arresting a 15-year-old and putting cuffs on her, and then, do you know what the cuffs on, lifting her arms up?
Yeah.
So, her shoulders go down then?
Yeah.
And you're like, what are you doing? Like, are you actually manhandling a child, a little girl?
Yeah.
It's just, like, I could sit here all day and go on for it, but I don't want to be seen as like, oh, you're God of haters or God of bashing. And you're like, no, I'm just talking from experience here.
And I'm sure a lot of coppers, because I know there is a copper, remember we were on Henry Street laughing, and the copper walked past and he goes, love the podcast. We were like, oh, show me. And then we're giving each other a stick. We're like, you should show the copper, but it's all fun and games. But I mean, like, so there is coppers who listen, and there is good coppers out there, and we know that.
Look, it's not hard not to be a bad copper.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know what's right and wrong. Just stick to that.
Have it, yeah.
But before we wrap this up, we actually never gave the details of the next live show.
Sound, yeah. It's pretty important, like.
Yeah, 19th of June. It's a Sunday. Ticket pre-sale information will be out probably in the next week or so. So tune in. A lot of people are left disappointed on the last one. There's nothing we can do about it. There was a limited amount of seats. You were told to sign up for pre-sale. It'll be their best chance. So this is your best chance.
Listen to me. Sign up for the pre-sale. I'm not having everybody. I was getting threatened.
We couldn't put an extension on the building.
Like what?
People are like, oh, surely you have tickets. We had no fucking tickets.
Sold out in 15, 20 minutes. Be fast. Sign up for the pre-sale.
That's your best chance.
That's your best chance. You'll get an email and you'll know they're on sale rather than just trying to find out. So you'll get the email, go on and get your tickets because they're going to go quick again.
And we're doing the David Goggins Challenge next Friday.
Good thing.
13th of March, May. 13th of May, we're doing it. Me, you.
Friday the 13th?
Bollocks, yeah. Yeah.
Get up.
Doesn't matter, we're still doing it.
A spooky little
Yeah,
time to
8
run.
p.m.
Love it.
8 p.m.
First run, 8 p.m.
Yeah.
But we have to check the football and make sure that we're not clashing because Liverpool's playing in the final.
8 p.m. is the first run Friday.
I would be fuming as well.
Come here, it's 4 o'clock or something. When is the match? Sunday, no?
We're either Saturday or Sunday, but it goes on 48 hours, do you get me?
Yeah, so it'll be 8, 12, 4. So as long as the match isn't...
Yeah, sure. But we'll be able to make it that it's not clashing. If we have to start the first one at 10, fucking 10 till 6.
It's starting on Friday anyways.
It's starting on Friday.
Yeah.
That'll be the
we'll have
first
more
one.
information up as the days are going on now.
And we're going to
Between
choose
now
the
and then.
charity over the next few days.
Yeah, but it's going to be for charity as well.
We're not just doing this to put ourselves through pain for the crack.
Yeah, so
I'd rather
we'll
stay in bed.
put up information about where the runs are. So if you're available, come out and join us, say hello, because I did see somebody put up a question earlier, said, are you going to be doing swims and runs now that the summer?
And that's going to be a little thing that we will do as well
Yeah.
in the summer. Like, we'll be gone.
We're going to incorporate a swim into one or two of these runs as well.
Yeah,
So
yeah. So we'll.
That's it.
Place.
Right. I don't know. We went off on tangents. There was questions. Thanks for sending them all in. And this is the thing. Every Sunday we put up the question box. So send them in to us. Anything at all. And we'll go through it. If there's anything that wasn't read out this week, send it again. Yeah. We'll be back next week. Hopefully we're a guest. And I think that's it. Yeah. Episode 72. We all done?
Yeah, wrapped up.
Right, take us out, Chris.
Boom.
Subscribe to this podcast for free on the Go Loud app.
What you waiting for? Put your back in it. Just a little more. Throw your weight in it now. Tell your body you're dead. Walk it hard and long. When you finish that,
The hip knocker.
go down, go down, go down.